So when we think about programming, when we think about web development, basically you can separate in two niches. Like you have front-end development and you have back-end development. So back-end development is like Java, C#, Python, Ruby, all those languages. So, and with those languages you can like do all sorts of stuff. You can like, if you think about a web page, so you go to Amazon.com. So all the buttons you see on your page, all the images, all the interactions that you do when you like put your mouse over something, that's the front end part. That's where that's the visual part of that. And when you like click, okay, I'm gonna buy this, and then you go to the server, you go to the database, you check the item is available or not. So all that is the back end part. Of course, that's a really general explanation of those two differences, but that's basically how it works. For this week, we're gonna just check it out, the front end part. And this front end part, it's basically HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you're trying to like get around and understand what's happening in the front end world, you're probably gonna see like a lot of buzzwords right now. There's tons and tons of different technologies, like different tools, and that's really challenging because the web is changing so fast. Like everything's changing so fast in the web right now. But with front end, even with all those new buzzwords, everything comes down to these three technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. They all have different ways of accomplishing something. So the HTML is this structured part. So when you see a website and you see Amazon.com and you see like all how the content is structured, that's the HTML. It's the content part. When you see a button that is yellow instead of a default color of a button, then that's the styling part, that's the CSS part. And when you see the interactions, when you click on something, an alert comes up or something like that, that's the JavaScript part, that's the behavior. So in order to get started with all that, first we need to understand text editors, because that's the base of everything. Like we need to code in something, we need to use some tool to code, right? So that's what we're gonna see right now. And the text editors, they come like a long way, but before that, like if you want to download those slides, this is the URL, and if you can all download at least the first link, this is going to be important for us. So go to bit.ly/Fresno-1-code.
So, will you be able to leave these up so people who, are watching this video, whenever, will be able to hopefully get to it?
Cool.
We want to make Fresno famous.
There's actually a website number, Fresno Famous. There is.
Hey. Cool. So the first one is a zip, so you can unzip that, and you're gonna see. Yeah. So you don't need to log into Dropbox. If you don't have a Dropbox account, it's totally fine. Just close this model that you see, and then click on the download button.
Everybody got it?
Got it.
And feel free just to check in with us, ask questions, show of hands, how many people know this, show of hands, how many people don't know that. Just get a sense of what needs more depth, what doesn't.
Cool. Okay. So now that everybody has that, let's take a look in the text editor. So we come a long way here. So this is like Microsoft front page. This is the one that I started working with, just playing with that. And I don't know, do you guys remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Is it familiar? Cool. And then things started to evolve a little bit more. So we came to Dreamweaver, and it was nice because you could like split your view and see the website being rendered in your code editor, and then you have the code up there, and then you could just like drag and drop stuff, and the code was generated. Of course, it was a really bad code, but Dreamweaver like was a really successful tool from Adobe. And then there was like other text editors, like people started to realize that getting generated code wasn't very good. It wasn't a good idea. So they moved to code editors. So this is Notepad++. I remember using that on Windows. It was a good editor. And then there's like other stuff going on. So some guys, they forked the Eclipse project, and then they made this Aptana editor pretty good. And then like on Mac, you have different stuff. You have like TextMate. You have like Coda. This is Coda. And so there's a lot of different text editors that you can use nowadays. And you can pretty much separate them into IDEs and text editors. So IDEs are this like fully featured program that you can build websites with, not only websites, but all sorts of things. But text editors, the idea is that they are more lightweight. So you can build stuff more like really quickly, and you can be more productive with that. You can be productive with both. That doesn't mean like one is good and others bad. It's just for web development, people tend to use text editors because they can get things done faster. And I wanted you guys to like, let's try it out, this brackets editor over here. So this one is a project from Adobe. You can go to brackets.io. This is the URL. And just download this editor.
So you think brackets is better than Sublime or
No.
WebStorm? It's just another one.
Yeah.
It's like try this.
Yeah, just another one. In the end, we were gonna read Sublime. But I wanted to try like some features in those text editors, because I really believe that like these are just tools, you know. I'm gonna show brackets, I'm gonna show Sublime, but in a year, other text editor is gonna be the most popular one. So the idea is that you need to get what is good from each of them and like put your toolkit together. So just download brackets and let's check it out.
Anybody need help with this part?
It's fine, right? Cool. So let's open it. So what you're gonna see here is pretty much like, do you guys have this HTML file over here, getting started with brackets, or no? Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so this is just a HTML5 page. So you have some content here, and brackets has everything that you expect from a text editor. So you can build whatever with brackets, but they have some nice plugins, and that's what we're gonna see. They have some built-in functionalities that are pretty cool, but they also have some plugins that are really nice, and let's explore them. So if you go to File, let's go to Live Preview. Can you see this option over there? Let's click on that and check this out. So, did it open in the browser for everybody? So what this live preview does, so whenever we are working with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all those languages, you're pretty much coding in your text editor, and then you save it, and then you switch windows, and then you go to the browser to check it out.
Yeah,
Your
that's
change.
part of this process will also be just me bringing you up to speed with some of the stuff we've already covered. And how many people live preview you've seen that? Just show of hands. Because I know we were doing that on one of the days a little bit with, I think, Ryan, HTML, CSS. How many people live preview is not, is new to you? Show of hands. It's new to you. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so what happens with live preview is like, it's really nice because you don't need to keep going with this workflow of like, sorry.
That's his phone. I was like, the keys are going on?
So you don't need to like go to your editor, save it, and then go to your browser. So you can just like make your changes over here, and then it should update here. Oops.
Live preview is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you have two monitors.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to go.
What do you use, Zeno? What's your,
I use Sublime, but
Sublime.
we're gonna get to that. So like I'm not even saving my file, but it already gets the changes and updates on my browser. So that's pretty cool, and you can get really productive with that. There are many ways that you can accomplish live preview. Using brackets, they have this built-in functionality, but there are many different ways that you can accomplish that. So this is one thing. The other things that we can do is we can go to this extension manager. Actually, first, let me show another stuff. So here on brackets, like we have this HTML over here, and maybe like I want to change the color of this subtitle over here. Okay, so this is your guide. I want to change this color. So I just go to, I could go to the main CSS file. You guys can see that? Just open that and change the color to red. It's nice because you can see this, oops, it's not too good to see. But you have an autocomplete, and then you can see the color palettes over there. So we're going to change the color to red, and then you can see the color is red, right?
Yeah.
So pretty easy, no big deal. But instead of going to the other file, and then we need to look and find the H2 definition, and if you have like 1,000 lines of CSS, it gets a little bit hard. So with brackets, you could just press Command E, and then you can see those definitions.
Command what? E?
E. If you are on Windows, I guess it's Control E. Yeah, so the equivalent command is Control on Windows, so whenever I say command, it's probably Control. So, and you can see there are two definitions. You can see this one, and you can also see the other one, the H2. So that way, you can edit your CSS right from your HTML instead of like switching things on that. And you can change the color to green, you save it, and then you'll see the change over there. So that's pretty handy. That's one of the built-in things on brackets that are really nice. But there's a lot of plugins that you can install. So let's go to the extension manager, and let's find some plugins over there. There are many plugins that we could install, and many other things. So like one thing that
Yeah, how did you get to the plugin
Oh,
area?
yeah, so you go to File and then Extension Manager.
Got it, thank you.
So this is the plugin registry. That's where you can find and download themes. You can see the plugins that are already installed, and you can see the ones that you could download. One thing that, as a web developer, when I started, my teacher always said like, hey, you need to validate your page in the W3C validator. Do you guys know what is the W3C validator?
Yeah.
Some
How
of
many,
you-
show of hands, how many people know that?
Yeah. So
How many
maybe
people don't?
you don't know. Okay. Yeah. So this is like, this is like a page that you could just put your code over there and validate it and see if there's any errors or something like that. So I'm gonna put this code here, this page, and it passed, doesn't have any validation problems. But you could also, like, instead of going to this page, you could simply download some plugin and validate that into your code editor. So let's go to the extension manager, and you can search for W3C. And then just install that, and let's see how it goes.
And we saw this too when we were looking at build systems like
Yeah.
Grunt, Gulp. This would be like one of the little modules, packages that you can download and run against your code in Gulp.
Yeah. So with this package, like, you can see these are some like problems. It's actually just warnings, but if I change some tag over here, then I can see all those validation problems, like, hey, you need to fix this, it's wrong, this tag doesn't exist. B123 is not allowed as a child of body in this context. This is a nice plugin. You could just validate stuff on that.
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty handy. And there are other times that you're coding and you don't have any idea what is this line of code means. Like, do you guys know what this line of code means?
Which line? Oh, man.
6. So like, you don't know that. So you would probably like go to Google and find it out. But there's a plugin that you can install. So you could go to your extension manager, you can search for Google, and install this Google search plugin. So if you have that installed, you can just double click on some line, and then you click on search in Google, and then it gets the content, and it should search for you.
Which one did you have to install for that?
Just Google.
Just Google.
Just install Google for that. It's a package, as a package for search, right?
Yeah. For some reason, it's not working for me. Did it work for you guys?
No.
No.
Maybe you have to restart the browser? Or the
Not the-
editor?
yeah.
Sorry, not the browser.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but the idea is that you would like search that on Google, and then it's gonna be, should be easy for you to like just check it out. There are other ones that, like, sometimes like you're on your page and you want to use Jquery. So you want to use Jquery and you want to put it in your page and you want to do it fast. So you would probably like search for Jquery on the web, and then you would go to the Jquery website, and then you would find the CDN link. So I don't know where I can find this, probably, okay, Jquery CDN. And then you see the CDN, you click on the Jquery core, and finally you find this URL. So with this URL, you can load Jquery on your page. So that's the workflow. So you go here, and then you just include Jquery on your page, right? So you have to like go to our website, find the URL and all that. But I want to use Jquery in a more like easier way. So you could like search for CDN, and you go to the CDN finder, and with the CDN finder, we could let's see how to activate that. Finder.
Anybody need help?
Yes, you
Yeah, I was just trying to find the button to activate the CDN Finder. I don't know where they put it.
Which package did you just do?
Oh yeah, I just found it. Yeah, it's this one like here next on the sidebar on the right. So you
What was the name of it?
CDN Finder.
Oh, CDN.
Yeah. So this opened this window here, and I can search for like thousands, like 1,500 libraries that I can include on my page like really easily. I could just like search for Jquery, and I can, okay, here's the URL for Jquery. I can copy and paste that, and then I can include on my page.
I see.
So this is another thing that you can do to be more productive and like don't leave your code editor to do some of those stuff. There's like whenever you're working with HTML5, you might wanna like check it out this website. It's called Can I Use, and then you can see like, oh, how is the support for Canvas? Then you can see the browser support for each technology. You can also
So is there an extension for that?
yeah, there's an extension for that. So you could like go to the extension manager and let's search for Can I Use.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just search for Can I Use. And after you download that, what it does pretty much open this. You can go to Vil and then show Can I Use. This option over here. And then you activate this panel and you see like, oh, you can search for any data here. So I can search for Canvas and see how is the browser support for Canvas. So you were like, oh yeah, I need to use this technology on my page. I just want to check if it works on IE 11. Oh, it works on IE 11, so I can use it with no problems. There's also like some other tools, like sometimes you get somebody's code and it's really bad formatting. You don't like it. It's like, oh, there's too much spaces in here. This guy doesn't care about anything, and this is just a mess. I can't understand this code. Or it's just a format that you don't like it, and you want to be more. You want to read it well. You want to read it in your way. So there's an extension called Beautify. Brackets Beautify. You can install that. And then you can just like select your code, double click, and just put Beautify, and then it will correct.
So you picked Beautify, not Brackets Beautify?
I picked Brackets Beautify.
Oh, you picked Brackets.
Hey. I think it was.
We lost your screen? Drop. We'll drop real quick.